Yeah, medium made music.
Hi, it's Latriece.
Hey, what's going on, Latriece? Hold on for a second. Let
How
me
are
set you up
you?
real quick, all right?
Okay, no problem.
For all my listeners out there, man, I got the opportunity to sit down with an incredibly gifted artist that goes by the name of Latriece. And we gonna sit down with Latrice for a little bit, baby, and she gonna let us know what it take for her to put her music in. So Latrice, baby, how the industry treating you out there, lovey?
Hey, so far so good.
Yeah. That's what it is. All right, so tell everybody where you originally from and how long you've been doing your thing.
I am originally from Chicago, Illinois, and I've been singing my whole life, but I've been doing music professionally for the past 6 years.
Wow. And
Yes.
and and you come up a little different than a lot of other folks. I mean, you've been trained like real early, like you know what I'm saying, like
Yeah.
you know what I mean. You jumped on the scene ready to put yours in. You know what I'm saying? So tell us how this. What was your inspiration? I mean, how you got started? Was there something or somebody that inspired you to do the things that you do today?
Well, music is in my blood. Both of my biological parents sing, and my stepfather sings. I crack my joke and tell everybody I've been singing since before I could talk. Just because that's pretty much the case. I've been singing nonstop since I came out. I've been always making some kind of noise. So it's just in me. It's just in my blood. I don't know how to do anything else. I run off of my gift. That's all.
And you've been lucky enough to come through at an early age, to come through some very unique places. I mean, like
Yeah.
you said you was born in Chicago.
Yep.
I think I read something where you moved to Michigan. Was it Ann Arbor?
Yes, Ann Arbor, Michigan. I went to high school out in Ann Arbor, Michigan, which was super cool. Very diverse, small town.
And then now you in Atlanta.
Atlanta, yep.
So that sounds to me that this was all destined for the things for you to be able to do these different things. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, definitely. It's awesome being able to travel and be a part of different communities. It definitely helps us understand that our communities are technically very small. There's so much more out there. So I encourage everybody to travel and to live in different states just because it gives you a total different outlook on life as opposed to just being stuck where you're from. That can be very hindering.
Right. I mean, you absolutely get to see some things from a different perspective because of the different
Yeah,
places that you've been.
right.
So it sounds like you kind of came up the right way. I thought I read something where you was in a choir. You was it a church choir?
Yes, a couple different church choirs. My father was a choir director. My parents are actually pastors. So
Oh, so you learning
yeah,
it the right way. I mean,
yeah, I was born on a pew.
yeah. No doubt. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
So being that you have a gospel background, um,
Hmm.
does that allow you to create your music in a different way than others may create their music? I mean, does it give you a different perspective on how you want to create your music and what you want to go into your music as you're creating it?
Well, I definitely feel like it helps me stand out quite a bit because growing up, um, my household had such a strong spiritual foundation that I
Right.
wasn't allowed to listen to a lot of music or quote unquote secular music.
Right.
I didn't really get into secular music until I was probably about 11, 12 when I had to start sneaking and listening to it in middle school with my friends.
Okay.
Um, so as to where everybody pretty much, grew up on, whether it's hip hop or R&B. I didn't really get into those things until I got a little bit older. So it gives me a different outlook on music, and I'm not just coming from an R&B standpoint, but growing up on gospel, growing up on contemporary Christian music, and then that kind of went into my love for rock music. Like I tell everybody, my first heartthrob was Elvis. That's the weirdest thing to me. So I definitely have a very unique taste in music, and I think that helps with my approach, and that's what makes my sound so different.
Right. Right. And you absolutely can hear that when listening to your music. You know what I'm saying? And me myself, when I listen to your music, I was like, okay, this is a little different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's a little ahead of, you know what I mean? She's a little ahead of the pack right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I
So
get a lot.
yeah, no doubt. So with that being said, with the way that you was brought up in the spiritual background that you have, my question to you is when you're doing your music, what is the message that you trying to put forth in your music? What's the message that you kind of trying to convey when you're doing your music and when folks are listening to Latriece?
One thing with me is that even though I come from a spiritual background, because a lot of people would expect me to really just be a Christian or gospel singer,
Right.
With the way that I was brought up. But I try to look at everything from the perspective of I'm still human. I can't put myself in a box of only singing to God when some days I don't feel like talking to God, just like most people. And that's just all honesty. Some days I'm heartbroken and I want to sing about that.
Right.
Some days I'm depressed and I want to sing about that. Sometimes I'm really happy and I'm happy that God got me through these moments and I want to sing about that,
Yeah.
So in my message, I really just try to portray being yourself and just living your truth. And, positive vibes, of course. That's what my single All Day is about. It's about, being in situations where with a person you might be arguing, you might be fighting all the time. It could be a relationship, it could be a friendship,
Right.
but just get it to a point where you say, I'm tired of arguing. Let's just, forget about everything we've been through and start over with positive and fresh vibes. And I think if the more people come with that approach of just being positive and having a positive outlook on life, it could really change a lot of things as opposed to just quote unquote throwing the Bible in people's faces all the time,
Yeah, no question. I mean, that was actually real talk. You know what I'm saying? Because not many times that when I interview folks that someone puts it as plainly as you put it. Like, I don't feel like talking to God today. I feel like you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, that's just all honesty,
Right.
We all go through different things in life where sometimes you're upset with God and you're wondering, why are you putting me through this?
No
and
doubt.
You just don't want to have a conversation.
No doubt.
But then other days where God makes you fall on your face and cry to him.
No question.
And I feel like when you're a human, you should be able to sing about all aspects of your emotions and not just be thrown in a box to just sing R&B because you got to sing about love and sex, or just sing about gospel because you got to sing to God. Like, no, just sing about what you feel like singing about today.
No question. And you know what? And that actually kind of segues into my next question to you. One of my questions that I have for you was, what's some of the challenges that you've encountered up to this point? You know what I'm saying? As you do your music every day, as you travel the road to try to reach to success. I mean, what's some of the challenges, the ups and downs that you've gone through that kind of made you feel like you're being held up a little bit? You know what I'm saying? Like, they just ain't giving me what I want right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, aside from just going through different life situations that will naturally hold you back from moving forward, whether it's a rocky relationship or, setbacks with a job or whatever the case may be. I've been through all of those things.
No doubt.
That will just kind of hinder me from moving forward myself, not necessarily anybody else stopping me. But then if you want to talk about the industry, I'm a African-American woman in Atlanta trying to make it in essentially the hip-hop and R&B industry. Like, I wanted to say the music industry, but Atlanta's base is pretty much R&B and hip-hop. So I'm out here competing with all of these people, you don't want it to be a competition. It shouldn't be a competition. But if you want to get real about it again, it is a competition.
Absolutely.
So
right.
That alone is a hindrance because, as a woman, you're constantly trying to prove yourself in this world. And then you add being a black woman to it, trying to constantly prove yourself, and then going into it as this is a business and we're not just up here singing. Mm-hmm. Now you got to work 10 times harder because a lot of times they don't take the women seriously on the business side.
Right.
So it's a big fight, but when you want it bad enough, you continue to fight through it.
Right, no doubt. And you kind of knocking them down. You know what I'm saying? Like you got a lot of, you got a lot of things that you kind of done. You know what I'm saying, at a very early age. I want you to touch on a little bit about. I think you modeled for a little while. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
you was part of some other different things that was going on. Give us a little insight on some of those things that you've accomplished that you've already kind of checked off the bucket list so far. You know what I mean?
When I was living in Ann Arbor, Michigan, I did a beauty pageant. I think I did about 2 beauty pageants actually, and ended up not making it through the beauty pageant, but I got picked up with a modeling agency. So,
Okay.
while we were all cheerleading in high school, I decided to drop the cheerleading team and start going to modeling school. So that was kind of like my extracurricular activity in high school, and that allowed me to pick up modeling jobs with Sears and Macy's. And when I got here to Atlanta, I moved that forward to modeling, doing like fashion shows and stuff like that for Macy's and Marshalls. As well as I did a YouTube series. This was around the time that YouTube got really heavy on, putting together their own little TV series. When things really got popping with YouTube.
Okay.
But back then I did a little series called The Girls Bathroom. And now that I'm older and I really look back at it, I think our producer was trying to do something similar to Pretty Little Liars. But that was a great experience as well. So I've gotten my feet wet. I'm just ready to really dive in on a bigger scale now that I understand the business a lot more and I've had the practice.
And that's a beautiful thing, you know what I'm saying? Because I actually wanted you to kind of speak on that, because there are some young artists that kind of listen to you, look up to you, whether you know it or not, because a lot of people don't know at times they are being watched. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
Right.
and I just want you to kind of speak on a little bit about the business aspect of how you have to handle your business and yourself. You know what I'm saying? As a young black woman trying to move up through this industry, you know what I'm saying? Give a little insight to those that may be watching you right now.
Yeah. Conducting yourself professional at all times, being professional, as well as just knowing your worth, not allowing anybody to tell you no. And I don't mean it like in be disrespectful, kind of way, but
Right.
just because someone tells you no doesn't mean don't keep pushing. It doesn't mean don't go to the next person. I actually just heard something earlier today where it said the young lady that wrote Harry Potter went to, I believe, 13 different publishers because 12 said no.
Right.
So it's just a matter of keep going, keep pushing, but conduct yourself professionally. Be on top of your P's and Q's, be on time. Like, I'm not going to lie, that's something I deal with all the time, is making sure that I'm on time everywhere I go. None of us are perfect.
Right.
But just like with any other job, if you work at McDonald's, your manager going to tell you, be on time.
No question.
Be professional. Don't talk to customers any old kind of way.
Right.
Have good customer service. All of that still applies in the music industry. And that's why I thank God for, my time in sales.
No
And,
question.
being a sales associate and being a manager, because it's helped me now that I'm selling music full time. This is my store. I have to like a store. I got to be on time to interviews and be on time to meetings.
Absolutely.
And, it's just a matter of taking everything that you were taught in school and in your daily jobs, applying it to your now business in music.
Right, no doubt. And never forget, this is also a numbers game. And a lot of people don't really realize that. A lot of people don't really understand that this is truly a numbers game. You might get 10,000 no's before you get one yes. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But you got to keep pushing.
And you got to be willing to take it.
No question about that. So let's get to the music, baby. Let's flip gears right now. Let's talk about the music. Let's talk about what the project that you involved in right now. You know what I'm saying? What's the name of it? What brought it about? What made you want to do it? All that's involved. I mean, let us know what we doing, Latriece. What we doing?
I released my single All Day at the end of June 30th. It was actually kind of like my birthday present to myself. I always try to drop a little something, whether it's a record or an EP, something to myself to show me, I'm still pushing, I'm still going hard.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the first single that I was to release everywhere, iTunes, Spotify. And that felt great. It was just a good feeling to to see it where I see everybody else's music, you know?
Right.
So we just released the music video to that. So far, it's getting some great responses. And yeah, other than that, I'm doing my best to put together an EP for you guys. I'm getting ready to release a new single called Dirty Dancer on October 15th. So I'm just getting the music out, getting the videos out, so that people can really start seeing something from me.
No doubt.
This upcoming year. Yeah.
I got a question for you, really quick. So there are times when you're in the studio or you're working on a particular project, or you may be doing a particular song, and when you complete that song or you complete that sound or that project, when you say to yourself, that felt good, yeah, and now I'm on my way. Is there a particular song or time that you had that feeling, and if so, can you let us know when was that and how was that?
I believe my upcoming record, Dirty Dancer, is that song.
Okay.
That and I actually recorded this song for the first time. We've recut it and everything since then. But I recorded this song when I was 19. But I was of course too young to really put it out and promote it or anything like that. But after making it, because we had such a blast recording it, and it's just such a fun, upbeat dance record, I really felt like, yeah, this is that record. And even after letting a whole bunch of people hear it, family members, friends, I just kept getting the same response that, yeah, this is the record, and it was the one that made everybody feel like, okay, yeah, she's doing it.
Yeah.
Versus, when you first getting started, you got a few records and everybody's patting you on your shoulder like, all right, baby, keep going, keep trying.
Yeah, they don't want to tell you that was whack, and you need to put a little bit more time in the studio.
Exactly. So this is that record that everybody was like, okay, she's doing something. She's taking this serious. This one's fun. Like I said, it's a confidence builder. It makes you want to get up and dance and just party and have a good time.
No question. For all my listeners out there, man, y'all got the opportunity to hear it first. Right here on Media Made Music, baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking with Latriece right now when she letting us all know, baby, what it takes for her to put her music in. No doubt. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Latriece, though, I ain't finished with you yet, though. You know what I'm saying? I got a question for you, man. I don't know if you're gonna think about if it's gonna take you a long time to think about it, or if you're gonna pop it right off the top of your head. I don't know. But here's the question. You know what I'm saying? If you had an opportunity to perform with an artist, dead or alive, past or present, who would that artist be and why?
Oh, Left Eye.
Oh, Left Eye. Yeah, you didn't even have to think about that, huh? That just rolled right off there, huh?
That's safe.
Yeah. And why would it be Left Eye?
I love Left Eye.
Okay.
Left Eye was just such an amazing spirit. You can just feel it and see it in the screen. I'm very carefree. I'm very free spirited. I will pack up and run and go anywhere in a heartbeat, and that's something that I related to with her.
Yeah.
I was trying to find herself, and she knew she wasn't gonna find herself sitting in one spot.
Right.
So for her to hop in the car and say, we're going to Honduras, or wherever it was that she wanted to go, and she wanted to take all her friends with her. That's kind of the outlook that I take on life.
Right.
And she's amazing, an amazing lyricist. I think one of the greatest of our time, of course. But yeah, if I could share a stage with her, do a record with her.
Yeah, it would be Left Eye. That's real talk right there. Hey, Latriece, baby, I just want to say, man, we appreciate you coming out, you spending your time with us, you know what I'm saying, giving us a little insight on the things you do and how you putting your music in, but before we go, I want to give you another opportunity to shout out and plug everything and everybody that's helped you get to the place to where you are today.
Man, first and foremost, I have to give a huge thank you to Robert Terrell, my manager. He has been really helping me push out everything for about the past month now. Actually, for exactly a month now, we've been working together, and everything has flipped and changed thanks to him. So him and my entire team, that's working and behind me and helping. To thank them. Man, Kyrie, he helped film, well, he did film All Day, the music video that we just did. Dina, she is my stylist. Chase Millions, you know, he helped out with the editing portion. Man, I don't want to forget anybody, but I just want to say thank you to everybody that has helped make this video possible, this song possible. True Wealth, he did the production and the engineering for All Day. So just thank you, everybody. You know who you are. Just thank you.
No doubt. No doubt. Hey, yeah, I also want to send a big shout out to Rob Tracy, baby. Hey, well, man, we love what you do, man, and we love, man, that you continue on investing in yourself and your time, man, with these artists, baby, because you are doing your thing over there. You know? No question about that. Hey, and for all my listeners out there, make sure you keep it right here. Keep it locked in because we got a couple of tracks that Latrice is just talking about. You know, we got that all day track for you. Hey, Trace, yeah, no doubt. You also got some shit out there called Stupid Love Thing, though. You know? Yeah, we got that. We on deck all day with you. You know? Listen, baby, before you go, let me just say this to you. You dig? May you be blessed in all the things that you do every day. You hear? And may you prosper in every single thing that you do each and every day. You heard?
Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it, and I really appreciate you having me on tonight.
No doubt, baby. Peace.